Well, the Symphony of Southeast Texas is having its Symphonic Dreams concert this weekend. It'll feature guest musicians and, of course, the classics from Mozart to Shakespeare. Maestro Chelsea Tipton is in studio with us this morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's great to be here. We have this wonderful concert. Symphonic Dreams is our theme. And as you mentioned, we have some music by Felix Mendelssohn from his Midsummer's Night's Dream. It's incidental music written for the play by Shakespeare. And we're always looking for ways to kind of cross-pollinate our season and have different genres of arts to come and join us. So we have an actor who's coming, Dalton Woody. He's going to be saying some of the verses from A Midsummer Night's Dream, and then we're going to play the incidental music from it. So like I said, we're always looking for ways we can bring in other arts communities, other arts in the community with our patrons as well.
I was going to ask you that next about Symphonic Dreams. What makes this a little different than what people typically experience when they come and hear you?
I mean, and typically you don't hear recitations by Shakespeare. I mean, we'll have a wonderful violinist, Ty Murray. She is fantastic. She has played all over the world. She's on the faculty at Yale in New Haven, Connecticut. I worked with her like 20 years ago, and she's going to be coming in to do the Barber Violin Concerto, which was written around 1920, 1925, by an American composer. And that's what you typically hear at a symphony concert. You hear an overture, and then you hear a symphony, some type of soloist, intermission, and then a symphony at the end of the concert. So we're trying to bring in some other elements with this Symphonic Dreams, with this Shakespeare, with this recitation. And John Manfredi, who's the executive director of the Beaumont Community Players, has been wonderful to work with. He's done a lot of Shakespeare. So having Ty here doing the Barber Violin Concerto, and then the second half, one of the most famous symphonies by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, his 40th symphony. I played this for a group of people the other day who were just normal patrons and everything. And I was surprised at how many people had heard that symphony before. It's got beautiful melodies, it's got beautiful, it really uses the orchestra in such a beautiful way and a memorable way. When we talk about great music, even whether it's pop music, whether it's gospel, whether it's classical music, there's always music that has hooks, that when you hear this music, you just remember it. It gets in, we call it an earworm. It gets in your head and you can't forget it. This piece really does capture this. And it's not only fun to listen to, but it's also fun to play for the orchestra. So you want people to come out and really enjoy this concert. It's a different type of program. We have 4 pieces on the program. And as I said, Symphonic Dreams, the symphony, and we're looking at using our imaginations with the bard of William Shakespeare.
Well, another good thing for people to note is, where this will be, the time.
That's important. That's important. And people often ask me, what are the ticket prices? I always get in free. They always let me in free.
Well,
so it works well. But the ticket prices start at $33. This coming Saturday, November 16th at the Julia Rogers Theater. $37 to $62. It's a ticket range, 892-2257, SOST.org. Plenty of ways you can get tickets and find out information about not only this concert, but then we have our holiday concert coming up in December. So we try to play at least once a month. That's our goal with the orchestra. And we want people to come out and continue to support this amazing orchestra, 72 years in existence.
Wow, sounds like a lot of fun happening. Of course, a pleasure to have you in studio.
Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks for
nice to be
joining
back.
us, of course.